coming in hot.
Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go. And are we here? Are we good? Yeah, alright. So, hi. Welcome to the transmission. We're doing this again. I am, of course, Echo the Pixie, and this is the wonderful Katie Jade the Babe. And so for tonight, in contrast to last week, when last week was some songs and us doing a little bit of talking, now we're going to be doing a lot more talking with just a little bit of songs. Mostly because not enough people have given us their trans music. If only there was some way we could get more trans music, please.
We have a fever, and only queer-driven music produced by queer artists is gonna satisfy that. Did I nail it? Is that the reference?
How?
It's like the cowbell joke?
Yeah, I know, like,
okay.
But why am I the oldest and I make none of these references? I'm the oldest here. Like, no one, like, okay, anyways, it's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, thanks for joining us again. This is Echo the Pixie. I am Katie Jade the Babe. And, of course, running the boards and the cameras for us, as always, is Gigi McG.
Hello, hello.
Eventually, she's going to have her own camera, too. Again, ironing out the details. Thanks for sticking with us.
Okay, so,
First topic.
first topic is, well, actually, real quick, a special extra thank you to Thea Riley for being the first musician to send us music, and that's also who you were listening to earlier and who you're going to be listening to later. And so, with that out of the way now, giveustransmusic@gmail.com. And first topic. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about how music has, like, influenced me as far as kind of like my journey through like discovering my gender identity and just generally realizing I ain't straight. Because we all
It happens.
Yeah,
it
it's like-
happens sometimes.
I don't know, I just assumed I was when I was a little kid. But we'll get to that later, actually.
It's not all your fault. It's not
Yeah,
your fault.
and we'll explain later, but this how music kind of helped me start the process of being like, who am I? What am I? What is all this thing called life and options and self-identity and expression, all that? So, I'm gonna start with the first time I kind of like, we've all kind of seen those memes, those phrases like, I knew I was gay when, and it's like a picture of Danny Phantom or something. I figured out what it was for me that made me realize like, I ain't straight. And that was MTV, 4 a.m. It's like they still played music at like in the early 2000s.
Wasn't it kind of like offbeat stuff, or like, I don't know, are they still playing like Michael Jackson at like 4 a.m.?
No, it was actually it was like called Jumpstart. So it was like pump you up, get ready, and it was mostly just like the pop songs, some rock songs, like Maroon 5 was there too, like just all these like things. Pretty much it was a lot of the music that at the time my friends would have called super gay, so I didn't let them know I listened to that. So 4 a.m. was perfect time for that.
Oh, those mid-2000s, right? Just the 2000s in general.
I don't want to go back.
Me neither.
About it,
High school years.
But watching that, and it was like a Shakira song. I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but there was like all these like beautiful men and women just running around, and they're all having a great time, and I was just like, I like all of them.
Hips Don't Lie, maybe?
Maybe, I'm not really sure, but I just remember that was like, there was like dudes that were shirtless and there was Shakira, and I was just like, all of this, yes, this is all good. And I was dancing around in my living room, and I realized I stopped and was like, I can't let anyone know I do this, so they'll think I'm a big homo. Haha, I am.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but, you know, depending on the time and place that you are.
I was just a kid, you know, and so I felt like there was this expectancy of me to not be gay. And so it just, you know, you tuck it down, you hide it because of social pressure, fear, all that jazz. You live on Earth, you know.
Hold on, was that a tucking joke right there?
It didn't mean to be, but, you know, sometimes they just pop up. There is one.
Oh,
okay.
my goodness, okay.
I don't
Do you have a rim shot sound effect over there, Gigi?
We can't do those kind of jokes. So...
Thank you. Thank you, Gigi.
Fun fact, and TMI for everyone else at home, I don't tuck.
Hey!
So I don't really know. So,
good for you. I hear that's healthier overall, maybe, kinda.
well, I mean, it's more comfortable.
That's true.
Like, physically. Socially, maybe not. But that's different strokes, different folks. Yes. So...
Just checking, just covering all the bases here.
Too many jokes are getting in the way of a very serious subject.
About your musical discovery.
About music and how it helped me be more femme and how it helped me, like, just honestly, like when you think about, like, Prince, that's some gender variance right there. Like,
David Bowie.
But, like, glam rock in general.
Yes.
But then I started thinking about, like, other genres that kind of lend themselves a little bit more to different, like, you know, queerness and such. And, like, rock definitely did, even though it was like a no homo kind of thing at the, like, back in the 80s and 90s. It's like, we have all this big hair and makeup, but we're not gay.
It's very masculine. It's for the stage.
Yeah. And so, but I was thinking, like, you know, emo rock, like emo music, scene music, you know, came out later. That lent itself well to the queer.
Well, actually, even, like, the late 70s and the early 80s, like, the new wave, like, British, like, the Cure and bands like that, like, the kind of avant-garde style, they really pushed the envelope, too. I guess you could put David Bowie in that a little bit, even though he's been doing all kinds of music for a long time.
Do you have any particular musicians that ever gave you, like, just gay feels, like, queer feels inside when you were younger? Like David Bowie did for me, obviously, but, like, you know, other than, like, the king of gay, David Bowie.
Yeah, totally.
Unofficial.
I feel like because I grew up in an area where queer people weren't really well known or represented or anything like that, early idols are kind of hard for me to pinpoint, but I definitely remember as a teen, like, instantly falling in love with Lady Gaga. Like, totally, you know, just 16-year-old guy, you know, long hair, but definitely no questions, right? Loved me some Lady Gaga whenever that album came out. I can't remember how old I was, but I was a teenager in high school, and I remember being like, alright, NSYNC, not cool, Britney, crying inside, not cool, right? You can't like these things. I have to like Metallica and Disturbed, right? Godsmack.
Oh, God.
But also Lady Gaga, and then when she came out as bi and such an ally,
Yeah.
it just, yeah.
I just think it's funny that, like, when I was younger, I was aware that, like, okay, I'm not in puberty yet, I'm allowed to listen to NSYNC, but I still have to say, I only use it for working out, you know, I only listen to it while I'm lifting weights. And then when I got older, I knew, I was like, well, I'm about 13, can't listen to NSYNC anymore.
Not allowed.
Not allowed to have fun or enjoy myself.
My first real CD purchase that I actually bought for myself in a store was Britney Spears' debut album.
Nice.
I swear to God, it was that and like an NSYNC one. No shame. Absolutely zero shame.
First one was NSYNC. A little bit of shame. But I have no shame when I loved Spice Girls, and I still do.
Yes.
And that was never, like, I never kept that, like, hidden. But you like Spice Girls? Yeah, I do. They're all awesome, talented, and beautiful. And just, I figured because they were girls who would call me gay if I liked them. It didn't work. They did.
I remember, like, when that movie came out, and, like, they really came out, and I remember just being curious, right? Or just like, oh, all the girls seem to like that. That's cool. What's it about? Just wondering, right? Like, what's it? Oh, that seems cool. I liked Wannabe. Wannabe is a timeless musical masterpiece.
So, yeah, it is too. But
I'm sorry.
I just realized something. You said Lady Gaga before, and I wanted to say something. It's kind of past, but
Okay.
Lady Gaga made me trans.
She actually made you trans.
Well,
Lady Gaga made you trans.
listen,
Hold on, this is
listen.
like a YouTube clip moment right here.
So when Lady Gaga first got famous, I was in high school, and I thought she was attractive. And then somebody, because apparently there was an internet rumor that she was trans, you know.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
And like someone in like computer class, when I was like looking at pictures of Lady Gaga, like the fine kind that you can just look at school, there was like, someone was like, oh, you like her? She's got a dick. And I had to sit there and think for a moment, like, what if she did? And I looked at him and word, I'd suck it. So, like, I'm just saying, like, basically, it implanted the idea in my head that it was okay. Mm-hmm. That's, like, and also, I might be a pop star.
There you go. No, I remember.
It's a joke.
I remember when that came out, too. I was like, there's no way she is. I feel like there's it's highly improbable, right? But even if she was, so what? Freaking awesome, right? Support her no matter what.
I kind of hoped it was true, because I would love to look like Lady Gaga. Like, I would love to, like, you know, get enough, woman.
But would you say that she made you trans, or is that just something?
That's a joke to play off the fact that other people like to say things make other people queer, trans, or this or that, or one thing or the other. But like, it's not that. It's just that by hearing about it, I was able to contemplate it for long enough and go, you know what? Yeah, I think I do. You know, like. It just, like, you know, had to grow in my mind.
Totally. I definitely remember having all that kind of, like, that being part of, like, stuff that flashed back to me from when I was younger, too. Like, signs you were trans. It's funny, like, when you start to come out, how, like, little things, like, especially music kind of tie back to, you know, you remember things when you listen to a song, I've noticed.
You get all these, like, trans flashbacks from, like, your childhood. Like, that's why I was literally in my mom's closet playing with her shoes, or this or that or the other thing. And it's just like, you forget about them.
Raid the Duck.
Yes, that's... Yeah.
Lady Gaga made me trans.
Like, I mean, I hope to one day make someone out there trans. And just continue it on. Just, you know...
Trans goals. Wait, hold on. Is this like the gay agenda? Is there a gay agenda? Did I miss the pamphlet handout?
Do you know how badly I kind of wish that was true? You know how badly I wish we had that kind of power?
Just like, go door to door like the old church ladies and just be like, hey, have you heard the word?
The word is gay. Now you are. Haha.
Here's your rainbow flag and sticker.
Like, if I know this isn't going to be something anyone wants to admit, but we can't make people gay. Because if I could make people gay, everyone would be gay. And we'd have one last greatest generation, be done. No more global warming.
Call it a day.
See, that's why you can't make people gay, because you can't make people straight either, apparently.
People are who they are, you know?
Yeah. But...
Yeah.
People are who they are, but other people don't want them to be who they are. And that's who they are.
What is with that?
I don't know. But how do we change them? To make them not want to change us? That's confusing.
Oh, gosh. Is that a topic for another time?
That's too cyclical, and I would need to smoke a little salvia probably for that.
Oh, wow.
If we're going to talk about the cyclical nature of the universe and the straights and gays in like a yin-yang fashion, I'm going to need to do some hippie drugs, I figure.
No, that holds up.
I just figure salvia's a hippie drug. I don't know. You can buy it at like a shop. You know, like you don't have to like get it from like a dealer. You just get it from a shop.
No, I totally remember
later
this
for YouTube.
Oh, whatever. No, I've only had friends do salvia, so like back in college, you know, when I would host like get-togethers where we were totally only consuming soda and pizza, Mom. But, you know, we were having a party, and I remember a friend of mine had like a few buddies that were like closer to his age, they were kind of younger, and they said that they were gonna go like smoke saliva out there in the car. I was just like, what is saliva? And they're like, oh, it's like a hallucinogenic. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, anyway, they come up like 5 minutes later, and this guy just all sweating comes in, wild-eyed, and he's just like, the stairs are made of dinosaur bones. And that will forever stay with me.
But I mean, were they? Have you seen the stairs?
We went to double check.
Were they at least like white or anything?
Yeah, they were kind of like that, you know, like the concrete that just basically looks like concrete, but then people put like rock sprinkles on it.
Oh yeah, that's totally just dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what that's made of. Don't you? Anyways.
I guess he had just reached a whole level of consciousness that it took me like 10 years to catch up.
Did you know that you were supposed to keep me on track on the subjects?
I'm having a good time.
I know, me too.
I think it's time for a commercial break, though, and then we can talk about, well, it's not really a commercial break, it's just a music break.
We're going to take a little music break so I can, like, drink some soda, and then we're going to have, you know, just a little interview by a surprise guest. You'll never guess.
Never gonna guess. It's not one of us.
It's not one of us. It's going to be someone besides us talking to you.
If you want to get your music on the air and help us keep from talking into circles for far too long, we want to just be rocking out and showcasing all kinds of queer artists around the world. giveustransmusic at gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter. You can contact us on Twitch, I think. Right, Gigi?
You are correct, ma'am.
Cool. So just get in touch with us. I'm on Facebook, too. whatever.
And yeah, Twitter, Facebook, just, you know, Transmission, Trans Radio Music, Trans Music Show. We have a lot of different handles, but we'll square them all away and make them one soon. But yeah.
And we're not necessarily limited to music. We just want to showcase queer music on our show. You know, if you're a queer artist of some kind, come on board. Or message us. That sounded weird.
You just gave me an idea.
What?
Later. Go to break. Go to break. I'll talk about it later.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, we'll be back.
What's the song doing?
7 people in here?
Wow. Hey, don't go anywhere. We're coming back. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you're being my mute.
Oh, I know, but they're off the cameras too.
We're gonna have to switch mics, by the way.
What happened?
We're gonna have to switch mics.
Did yours die?
No, but it's just if I'm going up there.
No, just put yours on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I will help you out.
This is just going to be like the picture for like, please stay tuned.
Yeah.
I want like, please stay tuned right there.
We should like paint on a sign or something.
I could write it on my back and then turn around and take my shirt off.
Alright, go ahead and speak. Okay, speak like you will normally.
So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was just
Okay, perfect. Alright, I will listen. Okay, T minus 1 minute. Hey everyone, this is Kat running the boards. Stay tuned, coming up we have a special interview.
I think you better get a seat.
seat filler.
Your
30
shirt.
seconds.
Your shirt one.
Yeah. So I think.
Okay, you guys ready?
Dinosaur.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, welcome back to the transmission. That was Sia Riley doing another song by hers. I will get you the name just shortly. I didn't have my notes with me. But first, we have a, special guest interview. It's our very own Gigi Sass, our technician, who is now in front of the cameras. Ooh, ah.
Thank you. kindly. I am Gigi McG. I am the tech person of Transmission. I run the sound and microphones and cameras to a mildly competent degree.
Oh, you do great. Stop. You do good.
You have to undersell it. You have to undersell it that way.
You surprise them. I know the tactics. I do that all the time.
Exactly.
That's why my partner's always pleasantly surprised that I'm not nearly as shitty as I say I am. But, enough jokes aside.
Yeah.
Brass tacks. You were talking about earlier about how, music kind of started me off with my kind of journey, and it's kind of like, so what was your start,
No, that's an excellent question, and I'd love to say it right now. Part of why I was able to, I think what sort of kickstarted me figuring it out is just, I think like a lot of people, I grew up in kind of a sheltered household, very religious, conservative, all that, where it's like, up with Reagan, down with the gays, and whatever you want to say.
So a bad place to be anything other than just like cis, straight, like...
Yes, no,
yeah.
That's more or less. And I will say, I don't feel my mom was necessarily that way, and that kind of wraps into the story later, but my stepdad, very much so. So, but as I grew older, just time went on, I'm going to high school, going to college,
yeah.
I'm learning more experience, learning more about the outside world, I'm learning more about who I am as a person. I'm realizing that maybe I don't even fit into this bubble that I've created for myself. And what's funny is, the first time I ever even, declared that I was not straight, that I was perhaps bi or even pan, was I was in a van full of my friends, and we're, having this debate about something, and at one point, I kid you not, I just throw my arms in the air, and I'm like, okay, I'm bi, I guess. And then they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah, that feels good. I'm like,
wait, was this like a... Were you trying to explain your orientation in the car,
we were having a debate about something. I think it was something about if a person has certain genitalia or whatnot, does that make you gay or
oh yeah,
so forth.
the age-old conundrum.
Yes,
that
exactly.
always stumps all cis people.
If you want to hear the funnier part of the story is we were all in this person's blue van. We were on our way to Arby's, and me and a friend of mine.
Sounds classy.
Yeah, and me and a friend of mine who's gay split a sandwich called a meat mountain. I literally cut it in half with a plastic knife they had at Arby's, and I remember wrapping mine in cling wrap because it was just chicken and roast beef and stuff.
You and your gay friend split meat mountain.
Literally,
you guys
that's
split a meat mountain?
We split a meat mountain. If you look it up, it used to be a secret menu item in Arby's. Then they actually started selling it for real.
I came out of the closet. The Arby's menu item was a secret. Only certain people in the know could order the meat mountain.
Literally, yes. Now that you explain it that way, literally, yes. It was a secret menu item, something you would see at In-N-Out, for example. But they actually started being like, hey, you've heard the rumors, here's the meat mountain. And so me and my friends are like, we gotta get it. And so me and my friend are like, well, I don't have that much money. It's like, do you want to go halvesies on it? And he's like, sure. So I remember I had half a meat mountain in my pocket, and
I'm sorry. Can we get that for an audio clip just for later? So I had a half a meat mountain in my pocket.
Hashtag
yes.
meat mountain.
Exactly. Yeah. But getting back on track.
Yeah, back on track. We're having a lot of fun here, but
No, absolutely.
Cal Sane actually just said meat mountain too. Hashtag meat mountain.
Oh god, I know that person too. Hey, Cal Sane. But anyway, what actually helped me discover being trans was honestly just being meeting more trans people and just understanding where they're coming from.
exposure is how we turn other people. A siring, as it's called sometimes.
I think honestly, I had kind of a similar conundrum. I was actually with the two hosts of Transmission, Kat and Echo, and I think we were just we were having a little after party or something at Kat's
And then I got a little trans on you, and it spread.
Yeah, I put a trans on you because you're mine.
My God, how are you the youngest with all the references?
That was a topical reference to Screamin' Jay Hawkins, the father of shock rock. But again,
How do you know that?
You're a time traveler, aren't you? You just turned. I'm gonna go to the future. It's okay to be trans. But like you're from like the 40s.
I am absolutely. I'm like Brendan Fraser in Blast from the Past. I just kind of like pop culture kind of stopped.
That's the most modern movie you've ever referenced. You know that, right?
I literally watched it last night too.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I'm sorry.
You have to not to make you feel old. That movie came out the year I was born.
Holy shit.
I gotta go rethink a bunch of things now.
Is it time for a commercial break?
No, I can push you. That hurt. Wow.
Anyway, back about the trans experience.
Yes.
The way it finally pinpointed at me, because before I actually came out as trans to a lot of people, I actually was referring to myself and seeing myself as more non-binary. And when I was doing it, I'm not sure if this sounds weird, but I kind of was doing it as like kind of almost like a trial run, almost, because I was like, I want to see if this fits.
Yeah, no, that's...
Because you don't want to like, because I don't want to be like, you know, put all my chips on the table and be like, this is who I am. Definitely not going back.
Hey, do you buy shoes without trying them on?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, but like, can you imagine if you went to a store and they're like, nope, you can't try on different kinds of shoes here. You don't already know your size. You already know how it's going to feel. You get your shoes, you leave, and you live with them forever and have hurt feet, like everybody else did.
Exactly.
So that's my representation of being cis.
But I was, like, online, I was talking to, like, a few people, like, just going as binary, and, like, everything was going pretty... fine for them, like, really there was no issues with it whatsoever. But I was talking with Kat and Neko one night, and we're just, like, kind of, like, talking about it, and I've been saying, like, well, you know, I've had thoughts like that, where I'm just like, what about this, what about that? Because, like, I said before, like, I would always love cosplaying as female video game characters, or just female fictional characters of sorts, and, I would always just, like, didn't think much of it. I would just like I was just like, hey, you know, I'm dressing up, like cosplay's cool and all that. I play a lot of games where I would love playing as like kind of the female and protagonist.
Yeah.
Perfect examples would be games like Life is Strange or Valhalla, both excellent games, both very LGBT friendly games. I might add, both very awesome, definitely worth a check out. And, like, those were, like, just little breadcrumbs along the trail where it's just, like, I didn't even realize it until I, like, think back about it.
But they were, like, kind of, like, judgment-free and, like, without it meaning a big thing, you get to try this, or, like, you know, try it on without it being, like, are you trans? I'm just cosplaying, you know, like, it didn't have to be a big deal.
Sure.
It's like these...
Sure.
Yeah, that's...
Like, I didn't question anything about it. I'm just like, you know, it's whatever.
Just having fun.
I think, honestly, like, in my head, I'm just like, you know, it's funny, you know, like, I think it was just like that age-old stereotype about, like, look at me, I'm a guy, I'm dressed like a girl. Isn't that funny? Ha 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 ha. Like...
I used that kind of thing for a while. I used the idea of it's a joke. And even in the time, I can remember myself thinking like, oh, this is so funny, but there was a thing behind it that was like, everyone else thinks this is funny, and I also think it's funny, but like, I also find it interesting or exciting in some way.
Cal Sane says gender is such a wild thing.
Absolutely.
It really is, and it's like a menagerie of things. You have your different expressions and things like that.
Absolutely. Just for me, like, continuing with the story, I think just along then, like, I'm talking with Kat and Echo and just like, what about this, what about that, you know, so on and so forth. And it just kind of hits me. I'm like, I think I might be trans. I honestly think I might be. Like, one day, people who knew me before I came out as trans knew I had, like, I was very hairy, like, had a big beard and everything, very, like, what you would call stereotypically masculine looking. Like, that's just how I looked, and I fully acknowledge that.
On the right camera.
This guy.
Like, fully acknowledge that I was very masculine looking. One day, I just kind of, like, woke up and was just, like, sick of just having, like facial hair and just, like, hair on my body and everything. And so, like, I'm going to the CV, I'm literally walking to my local Walgreens, like, buying, like, shaving cream and a razor and just, like, shaving everything off. And I'm like, wow, this feels much more natural. And it's just, like, I don't even know what triggered that in my brain. Just all of a sudden, it just happened. And I'm thinking about that, and then, like, I'm looking back and forth, and then I just sort of came to the conclusion, and I told like close friends like Echo and Kat first. I'm just like, I think I'm trans. Like I believe I'm trans. I believe I'm female.
Having friends that are trans, or exposing yourself to any type of relationship with someone who isn't cis, if you were gonna be trans, that's kind of the thing that's gonna like let you know it. And for me, I had to, like, I think I said this before in the last episode, but I had to specifically get told by someone who was trans, you know, if you're constantly just jealous of trans women and wish you could be one, that you're probably one. And so I just feel like that's kind of maybe like, I know that basically me and Kat were your Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And I it came full circle. I've done it. I made someone trans. No, I'm joking. I didn't make you trans.
I think one thing that's been interesting though is because I've come out to quite a lot of people. I came out on my Instagram, and I know quite a few family members follow that. A lot of I think almost all my friends follow me on that as well, and everyone's been super accepting. But like I would tell like online friends because online people are probably the people I talk to the most frequently as opposed to IRL people, and I'm telling them this. And there were like 2 times, one of whom is actually trans, where they more or less, when I came out to them, they're like, oh, I could kind of tell. And I'm like, wait, really? Wait, what? Like, I'm just like, one of them was just like,
you can sense our own.
Like, one of them was just like, one of my friends, who's just like one of my friends who's like a straight woman, was just like, she's just like, well, you know, you've always been kind of like different, like there's been something to you. And like even her ex who was at the house at the time was like, yeah, you know, I could kind of tell, but that's no issue. And I'm like, oh, like I wasn't taking offense. I'm just like, wait, really? Was it that noticeable? Like the other person who said it was like a trans friend of mine named Nikki, was like, she's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like you told me about like, you know, dressing up like the character from Life is Strange, was like, and she's like, I always thought to myself like I'm gonna let him figure it out on his own. like I don't want to force that on him or say anything. Like if he comes to that conclusion, then awesome. I'm just gonna let it just.
I was just like,
but the female.
You just keep going on your journey.
Yeah, exactly. But no, more or less, that's been my story about how I truly discovered I was trans. Was just like actually coming out of my bubble, talking with more people, and just like realizing that like, you know, it's like, you know, shocker to everyone listening, like there are going to be people that have different ideas than you, and you should hear them out on it. Like you're going to agree with them, you're going to disagree with them. That's just the whole point of listening to different ideas. But honestly, it's like such a simple thing, but it honestly has helped me discover amazing things right now.
Thank you, Gigi. I really appreciate you sharing with me how you're starting off everything. And real quick, so it was a big, like you said, big surprise to everyone else. But it sounds like you had like a lot of like thoughts and like you said breadcrumbs, and there was kind of like this gradual build towards finally. It's not even like finally accepting, but finally being like, it's been going on. These thoughts have been going on long enough. It means that, you know, because we get so scared that like, and then that's a part of the kind of that thing I'm making fun of in this whole episode of like, you're making people trans or indoctrinating trans or you're forcing them to be trans or people being trans to be like popular or whatever. It's like, to the outside perspective, someone might have just thought you were just being a dude and then one day you're not. But that's never what happened. Because a long time while everyone thought you were a guy, you were realizing you weren't. Mm-hmm. And it's because it's not talked about. It's because there's an expectancy. It's because there is like, you know, a pressure to not be gay. And so I mean, like, I think it's just hilarious that talk of indoctrination from that side about queer people is always like used by homophobes and things like that. But it's like, if we could recruit, there'd be more. And also, the only people recruiting like gender sexualities is people trying to force straightness or force cisness onto other people. That's the only kind of gender or kind of sexuality I've ever seen get pushed onto people. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, I just On the other hand, I am glad I made you trans. Can I have a hug, though?
Oh, for sure.
Thank you for sharing.
For sure.
Alright, no, Gigi, get back to work.
Absolutely.
Get it. Yeah. I love you, Gigi.
Also, can you unlock your phone again so we can give the people trans music?
Spell my dead name.
I don't want to do that, but okay.
You don't have to say it out loud.
I know, but like, just like even, I was feel like a, like, you know, like cursed images, it's like cursed code.
Sure.
Alright, cool. Well,
Alright, so we're gonna give you the last song we have of Thea Riley, and then when we come back, we're gonna talk more about indoctrination of genders and sexualities, and then yeah, we'll be closing out with a little special idea, and that'll be it for tonight for us. And if you're still here, thank you so much, and please stick around for
we
the
have
song
11
after.
people watching.
Wow.
Oh my God! That's more than this many. Thank you.
Thank you kindly.
All right, now give us some music. Give us some trans music.
Make sure to mute us all.
You are watching the transmission here on Twitch. This is Thea Riley. Am I good enough?
Out here or something, so it is.
Actually, I think that's a really good idea. Thank you.
So we're here.
Thank you. So we're good. We got the green on us.
We're back. Cool. All right. So there's a bit of technical difficulties there. We lost internet for a bit. Can you hear me?
Gigi, are we green on the boards? Are our channels green on the boards?
Green and yellow, yeah.
The button.
I think it's Gigi's muted.
Sorry.
Okay,
cool.
I just wanted to make sure. Because I saw some other green lights up.
So it's the apocalypse. I don't know if you've looked out the window. It's a slow one going, and now we've hit the interrupted internet phase. So now we're going to start doing something about it as a human species, right? Anyways,
That's why we need this kind of program more than ever, because the network companies that own things. Also, if you're rejoining the stream again, thank you so much for sticking with us. We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
The internet's going out.
The apocalypse, intermittent internet now, so it's hitting that, because first it was power and water in certain areas, and now it's the real things that matter. Internet, you know? And
It's really coming for us in our homes.
what's next? Grubhub delivery service? Is that going to get interrupted?
Oh my god. Could you imagine if your sushi got cold on you?
Isn't sushi... Wait,
That was a
do
conundrum.
you eat your sushi hot?
Well, I know that there's some kind of hot rolls. Has anybody out there had a hot sushi roll? No? They deep fry some of them. I'm telling you, I'm not just making this up. This is
I
not
know-
like
no.
some kind of
I know
weird
they do.
California
I know they
state
do.
fair.
Here's what, no, it's what happened was, you know, we have you know, people in California who deep fry literally everything. Everything.
They put cream cheese in sushi sometimes now.
Yeah, they're called carnies, is what I'm talking about. Okay, we have California carnies, and they, you know, got their hands on some of the fancy sushis.
It just
deep fried
rolls
it.
right off the tongue really well, doesn't it? California carnies.
Yeah, California. I'm a California carny. I have been, yeah. But real quick, Pike Ments, great name in the chat. You scared me for a second because I'm dyslexic. So, congrats to you for the best name in the chat.
Philly roll. Yeah, they have something like that, don't they? Because cream cheese is made in Philadelphia, or they have Philadelphia cream cheese.
Yeah.
I don't think it's state-sponsored cheese. I just think that it's a thing.
Yeah, you know,
I don't.
Philadelphia shoes.
But yeah, I know they have it on that. I think our local sushi restaurant has an Alaskan roll with like smoked salmon.
You're supposed to keep me on track.
I'm gonna leave.
No, come back! I'm saying you're supposed to keep me on. You're supposed to poke me when I go off subject.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, all right. Let's
yes.
stay on track.
What I'm trying to say is, thank you for watching. Before we go, I'm just gonna say, music has been great. This whole show, the music I've been listening to is great. I want to get more music for the show, do more with music, but like, I don't play music. I'm trans and I'm not a musician, and I would like some of my work to be highlighted every now and then, and I thought, you know what, why are we playing favorites? Why is it only the musicians? Because they're cool, obviously, but also, what if we just, you know, we're better. What if you also, like, had it for anyone who does anything interesting and is trans, or does anything interesting that relates to the trans community? email us at giveustransmusic@gmail.com. We'll probably make some other emails for other things, but like, let us know your story, what's up, what you're doing with the trans community or in the trans community, and we can, do you have like short videos, you do skits, you do stand-up, you do music, do you do juggling, do you do embroidery, what do you do? Let us know, and we'll show everybody. And because, you know, you're cool, and everyone should know.
And hey, if you happen to be pretty local to the Northern California region, hit us up. We'd love to have you on the Transmission broadcast sometime, too. Come on and tell us what it is that you do. How do you create in this world? And, you know, no matter which part of the L, the G's, the B's, the T's, the, sometimes, whoever you are.
The plus,
the
all the other
pluses,
things, yes.
The questioning, we're here for you. This is a community resource, and we want to provide you content by queer artists, whatever your medium is.
Go on to Northern California, hang out. She'll buy you a hot sushi deep fried roll. And
If that's your thing.
and it'll be great. I'm gonna have my sushi cold because I wait a long time before I eat it, so I don't burn my mouth. Alright, this has been the transmission. You were all great. Special thanks to Gigi on the boards for us.
I definitely tried.
And thank you.
Succeed.
You do, and thank you so much for telling us your story. It was great to have you on the program and be our first special guest.
We're gonna do it again sometime. It was, you know, it was her first. I was being gentle, but I'm gonna interview again.
Hard-hitting journalism.
You gotta do a follow-up report later.
True. That's absolutely true. I think so. But yeah, give us trans music. We'd love if you whatever your thing is. But you know, we are looking for more music to play on the program. We're looking to go live here every weeknight, Monday, around 8-ish,
8:30 most likely.
You know,
It's a process. This show, like us, it's all a process. And the show just started, so there's gonna be bits and kinks and stuff.
how long have we been working on this project, Echo?
Well, I believe it was maybe 8 months ago. I was drunk in your backyard, and I was like, why don't we just do this hanging out thing on camera? Why don't we just do this right here, this?
That's right. It was sometime around like last fall, like November or October or something.
Yeah, before the hot, sweltering time. You know, back when our brains could think, before they were boiling.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, that time. That was a good time.
What else is a good time?
What?
This, right here.
It sure is.
Alright.
Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back next week. Feel free to reach out, contact us. Thank you so much for joining us. We're signing off.
We love you. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, everybody.